delighted to welcome you to our grand opening for Into the Woods. I'm Karen Charlesworth, and this is Carol O'Connor. And we're just like, we can't quite wipe the smiles off of our faces. We are just so thrilled. But what I'd like to do is...
Oh yeah, so we'll and do our land acknowledgement this morning, that we are gathered here today in this beautiful space. We would like to respectfully acknowledge that we are on the land of the Qualicum First Nations, unceded territory of the Qualicum First Nations, and acknowledge that the Into the Woods Early Learning and Childcare is situated on this territory that the traditional land keepers maintained for millennia, and that we are grateful and privileged to live, learn, work, and play on their land. Thank you. And I'm going to welcome Chief Qualicum to come and say a few words. If he can get up off the bench.
Yes, I
You did it.
You're short and tough to get off of. Good morning, everybody. Yes, my name is Michael Ricalma, Chief of Qualicum First Nation. Welcome to our unceded territory, and congratulations on your new building. It's amazing. They're definitely a needed thing. I'd like to acknowledge the fact that MLA Adam Walker's here, and Mayor Tunis Wiesbrook. I saw Councillor Ann Skipsey here somewhere. There you are. How did I miss you? And like I said, congratulations. I hope our centers can work together. That would be very nice to do.
That would be
We offer different things, I'm sure, but congratulations on opening this thing.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I'd like to welcome Adam Walker.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Chief Ricalma, for starting this off in a good way. We are, of course, gathered on the traditional territory of the Qualicum First Nation. And I don't want to miss Councillor Jean Young in the back here as well. So, but yes, it's wonderful to see Town Council here. This has been a project that we've been working on for a really long time, and it's beautiful to see it finally come to fruition. I also want to recognize my colleague, the Minister of State for Childcare, who's not able to attend with us today, Grace Lohr. She sends her regrets. She was hoping to be here, but she's seen the photos and she's very excited to see this project move forward. As the MLA for the area, I hear all the time the challenges that parents are facing when it comes to childcare. Now, we know our community skews a little bit older than some others, but we know there's a lot of young families calling this community home. I met with a mother yesterday, and she lost her childcare spot, and the struggles that she was facing as far as paying her bills at the end of the month, while also trying to make sure her kid had the best possible start in life. To add to the complexity, she's a small business owner, so she has employees. So she was talking about how she was working from 8 o'clock at night till 12 o'clock at night to try to keep things going. And she ended the meeting saying, but she was accepted into this space as one of the 37 families, and it's going to be life-changing for her and for her daughter. And so it's incredible to be a part of this. Childcare is essential not just to parents, but it is essential to thriving communities. We know we have a labor shortage, and when business owners know that their workers are able to have their children have the best possible start, it leads to very thriving, healthy communities. And it's what we need to see in this province. And that's why we're making provincial investments in childcare spaces just like this. I have a lot of notes. I'm just going to sort of start winging it here. I want to take some time to thank those that were involved. The Town of Qualicum Beach, Director of Planning Luke Sales is here. This project started, let's give him a round of applause. Like, you guys don't know this project. This project started, I want to say 5 years ago, as an initiative of the previous council. And there were some challenges, some delays. One of COVID. The cost escalation on a building like this. It's a $2.4 million investment in our community to get these 37 spaces. And this investment is important because we know that this will be a center of excellence for years and years to come. And it's going to be a community of many that we can all benefit from, whether we have young kids like mine that are getting older, or whether we're just wanting to make sure we've got a healthy community. I want to also thank the CUES, Qualicum Community Education Wellness Society. I see Bill Preston's here. They were instrumental in seeing this project move forward. ELCO, Early Learning Childcare Coalition of Oceanside, is it Coalition? Council, close. Eva's here. I'm not going to say her age anymore but she has as much energy as anybody else in this council, and by having different community groups working together, focusing on childcare in our community, is why we have this center. Peter Turget, I don't think he's here, but he will?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. He was instrumental in the initial design. We couldn't have put the grant together without him. So when you see him, thank him, shake his hand. This wouldn't have happened without him. Rob DeGrosse with the landscape planning. I mean, look around. This is very unique as far as childcare centers go. And MKM, I didn't see any of the folks here from MKM, but this has been a labor of love for them. They've had some challenges, but they've been incredibly patient, and obviously you can see through the quality of the construction that this is going to be a center here for years to come. So I have a whole bunch of notes about all the different things we're doing, but I just want to say that our government has invested in 32,000 new childcare spaces across this province. Every one of them is unique. Every one of them contributes in an incredible way, but it's not possible without people like Carol and Karen and all of those that are leading this nonprofit center. We see childcare as a social program that parents should be able to rely on without financial barriers, without long wait lists. Quality, accessible childcare is what we want to see everywhere. Thank you all for coming here today, and I'm very much looking forward to the celebration.
Thank you so much, Adam. Tunis, could Westbrook, our mayor, come up and say a few words?
With the emphasis on few.
Yeah, you can read the rest of my pages if you want.
Well, I think you did a good job. And without Adam, I don't think this would be here. So thank you, Adam. You were just on council, came up with this idea of a daycare. And I go, why don't you go to the school district? Well, surprisingly, they weren't that interested. But Qualicum Beach Council was, the previous and the current council, because I think it took two councils to get this across the finish line. There were some issues near the end. And with the support of Councillor Skipsey, Councillor Young, and also of course of Councillor Vanderbach and Harrison, who couldn't be here today. But this is a wonderful, momentous occasion where this is what we do. Our council wants to see our community thrive, our families thrive, and you laid all the reasons out why we should be supporting this. So well done to everybody that's involved. Now, Anne Skipsey was kind of our liaison and knows more of the people personally. So I think it would be entirely appropriate for Anne to come up and say a few words and mention the groups and people that make this happen.
Well, I wanted the opportunity just to thank some of these people that are the volunteers, and really, you know, it's different if you're being paid and whatnot, but I think Carol originally was thinking about her grandchildren. I'm not sure what grade they're in now, but I mean,
for my grandchildren's grandchildren.
I know the years, like we're talking years of commitment that these people have put into this project. And I wanted to acknowledge and thank them for not giving up, not throwing in the towel, and having the patience and seeing it through, because it really is worthwhile. And all of their expertise that they're so willing to give freely to this project, the years of childcare, both Karen and Carol, and I know there's more. Bill was so involved, and Eva and Jen and others. I just, from the heart, wanted to say thank you very much to the volunteers.
Yeah, you're welcome.
On behalf of the town, we were happy to provide this land. I think that's one of the things that Qualicum Beach is good at, is we have land and we want to use it for community purposes. So well done, and on behalf of all of council in the town of Qualicum Beach, congratulations on a job well done, especially to our director of planning, who wouldn't let it go, and Bill Preston, who was like a terrier, would make this happen. So QCU's well done. Everybody here, thank you for coming out to celebrate this wonderful occasion.
Thank you.
So you've got a sort of a feel of how long it's taken, and that's part of what I was going to share today. Is just I started out with Bill and Adam and Anne on a committee called ELCO, Early Learning and Childcare Council, probably pre-2015, where we were talking about bringing childcare to Qualicum Beach or the Oceanside area. And in 2017, we worked with other municipalities, the city of Nanaimo, to create a grant or to pull together grants that did a childcare needs assessment, and communities came out across the whole region in Nanaimo all the way to Deep Bay, identifying that childcare was a need. So with that information, we took it to a grant application, and in 2019, Adam and Bill and Judy Malcolm and I sat, and we kind of pulled sort of all of the pieces together. Peter Touget, who I hope you will get to meet soon, was instrumental. He was a childcare designer, and he walked us through some of the sites. We chose this site. We were here in the morning, so he was pointing out how you want to have sunshine in the morning, and gave us all kinds of great information about what we should be looking for. We also really wanted to thank Sharon Gregson, who's the lead for the Coalition of Childcare Advocates of BC. She is the person who is in the know in the province about what's happening, and she's a personal advisor to ELCO and to Into the Woods Early Learning Childcare Studio, as well as Michelle Kirby, who works with the ministry, and she's Director of Childcare Development for the Ministry of Education and Childcare. She's also been a wonderful support and ongoing support in the process of Into the Woods. Also, I, on behalf of the Into the Woods Early Learning Childcare Studio and Society, want to recognize Luke Sales and Heather Svensson for their ongoing commitment to this project. And it's been some days I'm sure they didn't really want to hear from us, but we all work together. We would also like to thank Council for their commitment on the project and for prioritizing the resources that most closely impact the children's needs at the studio. Also Ann Skipsey, and as our first childcare liaison from the town of Qualicum Beach, and look forward to continuing to work with Jean Young, who is continuing to support as a liaison from the town council. As we sort of build a collaborative relationship with the town of Qualicum Beach, because we really feel that this is the town's childcare center, and that it is a community. Although the society is responsible for the operation, we want to make it a community kind of project that we would continue to see the ongoing collaboration between all of them to meet all of the needs of the childcare center, childcare community. And with that, I'll let Karen talk about sort of how the design came together.
So as Carol mentioned previously, so the design for the inside was designed by Peter Touget. So this is an architect designer who has done over 160 centers in British Columbia, and that's when I got involved. I knew his work personally, I'd seen his centers, and his ability to recognize the difference a space makes to a child's development was so important. So working with Peter and Rob DeGraw, who designed the outside space. So the outside space isn't traditional. So we've had people walk up and say, well, it doesn't look like a typical schoolyard playground. Well, it's not intended to. This is a nature-based program, and we are wanting children to experience nature in a natural setting. So you won't see a traditional climber, and everything, all the designs that you see, there's thought and planning behind them all. So the interior space, after when we're able to do tours, notice the details. It's the details that have been so important to us. So I also wanted to recognize too, the construction of this vision was overseen by Sylvia Bonet of Finlayson Bonet Architecture and MKM Construction under the supervision of Kyle Meston. And we want to express our tireless appreciation for Kyle for his tireless dedication to seeing this project through. Kyle is actually now one of our parents. So we are really excited to have his continued involvement in our project. The nonprofit society of Into the Woods was established in 2020, and the board includes myself, Karen Charlesworth, Carol O'Connor, community liaison Bill Preston, our treasurer Stephanie Benedict, secretary Jen Dexter-Tyler, and our outdoor learning advisor Elizabeth O'Neill, and our early learning advocate Eva Hilborn. Who am I? I've been a strong advocate for quality childcare for over 35 years, and my focus has always been on establishing quality center in purpose-built centers. The difference to a child of being cared for in a purpose-built center is so significant. I feel that, as I was so pleased to hear Adam say, quality was at the top of his list rather than affordability and accessibility. Quality is the buzzword. Poor Bill has been tired of me saying this ad nauseum. So quality, a purpose-built center with qualified staff that are supported to build a quality program. So I just am so thrilled at what we've accomplished. I just wanted to share a little bit about who our board is. Our co-chair, Carol O'Connor, brings years of experience in a variety of leadership positions in the childcare field. Stephanie Benedict balances her position as the manager of business services for Coastal Credit Union, and as her role of treasurer for the society, Jen Dexter-Tyler, our secretary, she is the glue that holds us together. Thank goodness for Jen. Bill Preston, the chair of Qualicum Community Education Wellness Society, brings years of supporting the many social and community outreach programs in Oceanside. And Eva Hilborn, if you get a chance to talk to Eva afterwards, please do. She is the chair of the Wonderful World of Books, a nonprofit she established 2020. Remember what was going on in 2020. This society provides approximately 250 books each month to children under 5 in the school district 69. We have counted on Eva to bring focus to our meetings and appreciated her willingness to make the political calls when necessary. Elizabeth O'Neill, founder of Tall Trees Nature Program, has been our outdoor learning champion and advocated for many of the nature-based learning practices that are now in place at the studio. This group of volunteers has put in thousands of hours over the last 4 years in consultation with the town through the construction process and recently completed the furnishing of the space, initiating the licensing process, staffing, and operational setup of the center. We are very proud to say we feel a great sense of accomplishment today, what we've achieved collectively. We are so pleased to see this center filled with staff and children benefiting. And I would like to introduce you now to Erin Guthrie. She is our phenomenal executive director. And she is what has taken this vision and making it a reality. And she will in turn introduce some of her staff.
Hi, so I'm Erin. I'm the executive director here, and the board has entrusted the day-to-day operation decisions to myself. I feel super honored to work in this building, in this beautiful setting. When it's not fall days, it's nice, you can hear the birds chirping and the deer come by. It's so beautiful just to be downtown here. I'm just going to give a brief overview of our staff. We've been very fortunate that we were able to find staff to open both sides of the program. And so I'll just go through a few of them are here today. We all have the matching t-shirts on right now, so if you have questions about some of the operational stuff for day-to-day, feel free to come ask one of us. So Midori is here. She's in the back. She's been an early childhood educator for 15 years in Canada and was previously a kindergarten teacher in Japan. She spent her last 5 years working in an infant toddler program and has grown her passion for this age group. Sierra was not able to make it with us today, but she's been in the field since 2019 and has her early childhood education diploma with additional certification in infant toddler care and children with diverse abilities. Courtney has been in the field for 16 years and holds her early childhood diploma with additional certification in infant toddler care and children with diverse abilities. Kimberly also couldn't make it today and holds her early childhood assistant certificate. She joined the early years field after many years of working in the healthcare field and has plans to continue her education further. So those are our 4 core staff that are working in our infant toddler program. Then over on this side we have our early years program, which is age 2.5 to kindergarten. So we have Miss Kelly, who works with us part-time and has over 20 years in the education field. She holds a Bachelor of Human Ecology and Nutrition, a Bachelor of Education in Elementary, and her BC Early Childhood Educator Diploma with additional certification in infant toddler care and children with diverse abilities. Michaela has been in the field for 3 years and holds her Early Childhood Assistant Certificate. Caitlin is also here today, and she works for us part-time and joined the early years field 3 years ago and is currently a work integrated learning student at Vancouver Island University and will be graduating with her ECE certificate in August. Rhiannon and Paige will join our team in September, and they both have been in the field for many years with their early childhood education certificate. We've also been very fortunate to have a few staff join our team that are working as on-call casual for us so that we can have vacations and days off as well. So we have Erica up here in the front. She began working in the early years field in 2022 and comes to us with significant experience working with children and families. She's been involved in coaching swimming, summer camps, nannying, running children's programs for BC Parks, and high performance coaching, as well as an autism support worker. Zora has worked in the early years field in various positions for the last 15 years and is currently working towards completing her early childhood certification. And Shar began working with us, began working in the early years field 3 years ago as a responsible adult, and prior to that was a support worker in the community for many years. If you want more information on any of our staff, you can go to our website and find some more detailed bios about them. I also want to recognize that we will be working with Shirley Ann Royer from the ECPN. She'll be coming in and be our in-house pedagogist who will be helping document the children's learning and narrations of what they're playing and saying. So we're super excited to have her join us as well.
Thank you, Erin. We would like to invite you to have some snacks and coffee and water. But